Hello and welcome back to DBD Sports Show. Let's give it a round of applause. I think this is episode 20. I think last time we recorded was July 31st it was, end of July. And this is August
Who knows, bro?
28th. August 28th.
About a month.
Yeah, it's been pretty much a month. I think this is going to be our last episode before we all go away to college, which is crazy. 20 episodes, last one. We're still trying to figure out what we're going to do. We'll keep you guys updated, of course, post on everything. Speaking of posting, make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, I almost said Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything. All right, let's get into it. So preseason is pretty much over. At the time we're recording this episode, but by the time they're going to see this, preseason is going to be over.
Right.
Out of all the preseason players, which rookie is going to have the best campaign for year one?
I think that I really have, I think Najee Harris and Jamar Chase, those two just come to my head. Just because I feel like they're going to get so much volume.
Jamar Chase was having a lot of dropping issues, though.
He was, but, I feel like he's going to get so much volume. And, he's going to be, he's not, the number one option, but he's going to be,
because it's going to be between T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and now Chase Young.
I feel like the chemistry
not Chase Young, Jamar Chase.
The chemistry he probably already had built with Burrow. So, I feel like that could, lead him to, being, a bigger option if he thought.
Right.
And with Najee, I think the Steelers, they also like to run game a lot. It's kind of a simple system, but, they like to run the ball.
Yeah.
And, James Conner was getting a lot of touches last year, but now he's obviously out of there. So now,
he got a lot of touches, but zero production.
Yeah, so let's see if Najee can do that. Because Najee showed in college how athletic he is when he's, hurdling defenders. And, just, very good stutter steps. Quick and elusive. So, I feel like Najee's, running style, assuming that carries on to, the next level, that will give him a lot of production. Yeah,
a lot of people are trying to say, he's the next Le'Veon Bell and stuff like that, which we obviously don't know what's going to happen. They had a way better offensive line then. They had a terrible offensive line last year. No run game at all. They went 11-0 and then ended up, 12-5 was it?
Yeah.
Or 12-4 or 11-5, something like that. Their offensive line got worse. They lost offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So if Najee Harris, which we all think he's gonna have a great rookie year, that goes to show how great of a back he is. Imagine if they just had an O-line.
Yeah.
And Le'Veon obviously had a better O-line than they have now, but we don't really know. Brady, what do you think? Oh, what's the update on Jalen Waddle's injury? Because he got hurt, I think week 1 or early week 2 preseason.
1 second.
I
don't remember the injury.
You said Jalen Waddle got hurt?
Yeah.
You mean Devontae?
It was a strain.
He did have it.
It says.
I don't think it was anything major.
No, it says he said he's feeling good.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But who do you think is gonna have the best rookie campaign?
I want to have the best rookie campaign. I want Justin Fields to have the best rookie campaign, just based off because I really liked what he did in college. But honestly, I do not think he's going to start at first. I still think Andy Dalton will start at first. So I'm going to go with Zach Wilson will have the best. I don't think the team's going to be good, but I think him alone, he'll put up Herbert's stats did last year, but
you think?
But they're going to be
Herbert threw for 32, 38 touchdowns last year?
32 and 9 or something like that.
I think it's going to be Micah Parsons. I think it's going to be the linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we saw the Cowboys on Hard Knocks. Some people watched on HBO, some people didn't. I think it was every Tuesday night at 10, something like that. Micah Parsons, he covers wide receivers. He covers tight ends. He goes sideline to sideline. He's fast. He can move.
Yeah.
He's covering CeeDee Lamb, most likely the wide receiver 1 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly.
He's covering and he's on him, and CeeDee Lamb didn't make the catch.
What did he run for a 40, a
4.4, something like that?
4.4.
Was it 4.44?
Yeah.
Or did Kyle Pitts run a 4.44?
I think Micah Parsons may have too.
And then Micah Parsons' run stuffing ability is insane. He gets into the backfield in maybe not even 3 seconds.
He ran a 4.3.
4.3.
That's insane. For a linebacker?
He's huge and is so fast.
Yeah, you don't see that combination.
Exactly. So I think Micah Parsons, it's him, Leighton Vander Esch, and then they just lost what's his name that just retired? I can't remember. But it was another good linebacker that just retired. It was I can't remember. But now he's stepping into that spot with.
I think I know who you're talking about, bro. Was it Stanley?
It was Lee.
Stanley.
I know his last name was Lee.
Something like that.
Something
bro.
Lee.
I know who you're talking about.
So he's going to be in that role. Most likely he's going to be taking over. He'll probably end up being the Mike. Just the way he gets the whole entire team going, his energy. They showed it when it was like the path to the draft things with the rookie. It was Kyle Pitts, Justin Fields, Micah Parsons, and I think it was J.C. Horn. I think it was them four. The way that Micah Parsons held himself, they would just say he would just never stop talking. Like he would just always get everybody going the whole entire time. Exactly. So I think all the players are always going to be on his side. So I think him maneuvering his way around that defense, he had 2 fumble recoveries in the minimum snaps that he played. We don't know what he's going to do this last preseason game because we're recording this when they only played 2. They're 0-2 right now, but I think Micah Parsons could have a great year. So what is it, Micah? We say Micah Parsons, Jamar Chase.
I said both Jamar.
Zach Wilson. And then what was it?
I said both Najee Harris and Jamar.
Najee Harris, that's right. I'm trying to think. Devonta Smith,
I'm so scared
he's going to be the wide receiver 1 for the Eagles, and him and Jalen Hurts have the connection.
I'm so scared of his durability.
Yeah.
He did get hurt recently this year.
Right. Speaking of the young players and stuff, there's been a few young players that have gone injured, and one of them is a rookie. Cam Akers, he's a great young running back for the Rams. He tore his Achilles. I think it was in training camp. I don't even think it was a game.
That sucks.
Darrell Henderson is now the automatic starter. Well, was the automatic starter for the Rams once his injury occurred. Now they just got Sony Michel for a 4th and a 6th or something like that. Yeah. So I feel like they wouldn't go get a running back if they felt strongly in their running RB1. So I feel like Sony's going to be the RB1 now. And now Travis Etienne, the rookie running back out of Clemson, is now reuniting with Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. They used pick 2022. Mm-hmm. They used on him. He suffered a Liz Frank injury, so that's a fracture in your foot or your ankle.
I saw somewhere it might be only 11 weeks.
Yeah, I see 12. Like it's 12 weeks to the whole season he could be out. It depends when he gets the surgery and rehab
either way,
and stuff.
11 games pretty much the whole year.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And now James Robinson's going to be the RB1, which he was most likely going to start out as the best running back anyway, and he rushed for over 1,000 yards last year.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's bad for Travis, if anything, because he's going to come back and we actually gave James Robinson the green light anyway. So.
Right. Honestly, I don't know what can happen, because it could be Travis Etienne could come right in, because he has that level of the passing game, too.
Yeah.
James Robinson's too small to really catch.
Really because, he's very effective, regardless. But, it's also really because, the organization's going to want Trevor to be happy, too. So if Trevor says, I want to give Travis the ball.
Right. They'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
They already traded Gardner Minshew, too.
Yeah, which I don't understand why they did.
We'll get into that after. Fantasy. Fantasy football is starting up. A lot of people are doing their drafts relatively soon. We're doing ours, I think, tomorrow, as of when we're recording this. Who do you guys have for some of the biggest fantasy football sleepers?
Chase Claypool.
You think Chase Claypool?
Yes.
Brady, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Emmanuel Sanders from the Bills.
Okay.
Because I watched the game today, and I liked how they involved him in the offense. I feel like he's going to be a Cole Beasley type of guy.
I was going to say Cole
because
Beasley.
They were using Emmanuel Sanders how they used Cole Beasley last year, and that offense looked like it just clicked. Everything was going.
You think Emmanuel Sanders is going to step into that role?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a good flex receiver. He could be a good ass flex.
I have a few players. The first one is Darnell Mooney, the wide receiver for the Bears. Last year, he actually outplayed Anthony Miller and became a top 50 wide receiver. And he now has that new quarterback in Justin Fields, which Andy Dalton has solidified that Andy Dalton's getting the week 1 job. But I think Justin Fields is going to be that quarterback. We all know it. They're not going to make the playoffs, but he's going to be the quarterback. But I think Darnell Mooney could step into that spot again, taking over Anthony Miller's role in the wide receiver too. Also, I have Russell Gage, the wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons.
I just agree with that one. Calvin Ridley's going to get all the production too.
Yeah, but Julio's gone.
But pitch is there.
But, yeah, okay. But when Julio Jones started in 9 games, he still had 72 catches, 110 targets for over 700 yards. With Julio playing 9 out of the 16 games, And he's obviously going to be the solid number 2 behind Calvin. But then, again, that all depends on how they use Kyle Pitts. Because they don't have a good offensive line.
Pitts is going to be 2.
Do you think they'll use him as a wide receiver 1?
Well, again, he's gonna be
out there. Kyle Pitts.
No, he's gonna be out there as a tight end, but you're gonna know like that he's playing receiver because he doesn't. One thing he hasn't showed is his ability to really block as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he has shown his ability to catch the football.
Right.
And the Falcons gonna need offense because
but also
you don't have to do double coverage cover really all game.
Right. Kyle Pitts alone might draw so much attention that it allows Ridley to have a crazy
Russell Gage.
Yeah, and Russell Gage.
It could go either way.
It could go, yeah.
It all depends on how they're playing Kyle Pitts.
I feel like it does go how they defend Kyle Pitts because you double Kyle Pitts.
Because you can't put a linebacker on him unless it's Micah Parsons. But you can't put like if they're playing any other game. Exactly. He's like a big body wide receiver. That's pretty much what he is. Who do you guys have for some fantasy busts? Like who people are drafting high or speak highly of that aren't going to do good? Number one, I got Saquon. I got Saquon Barkley, the running back for the New York Giants.
Ezekiel, bro.
Oh, Zeke.
Last year, whoever had Zeke literally took him in. I think it was the first round and bust the whole year.
Yeah,
that he did nothing last year.
I think Saquon because he had the major ACL injury last season. Terrible offensive line for the Giants. They got Kenny Galladay and they got John Ross to add to their John Ross from the Bengals, Kenny Galladay from the Lions to add to their core. So they have a good offense. But they don't have any solid targets because the quarterback can't throw the ball. So all eyes are always going to be on Saquon. If Daniel Jones learns how to throw, because Daniel Jones can run. We saw him run for almost a touchdown but then tripped on the air. But if Daniel Jones learns how to throw the ball, then Saquon will have a good year. Yeah. But all eyes are always going to be on Saquon.
And even on top of that, like who knows how he's going to rebound from that injury.
Exactly. Also, I have Melvin Gordon, the running back for the Broncos. Melvin Gordon is good. I think he's 28 years old. But they just drafted Javonte Williams out of UNC, who's a great running back. And I think the way that I was talking about him in the draft, Javonte Williams, and Michael Carter, I think Michael Carter, the Jets just drafted Michael Carter, I think. I can't fully remember. But the way, like, I think highly of them, so I think he's going to win that starting job. He's a big back. He's a solid running back 2 right now, but he should be RB1. Also, I have Darnell Henderson, the guy we were just talking about, running back for the Rams, because after Cam Akers' injury, he was RB1. Now he's going to be running back 2 behind Sony Michel. And they're already in a pass-heavy offense with Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee, Cooper Kupp, and now Deshaun Jackson and Matthew Stafford, the quarterback for the Rams, who was from the Detroit Lions, who has a cannon.
Too much going on.
Exactly. So if Sony's going to be – I mean, they might use Darnell for like – or Darrell. Is it Darrell Henderson? Darrell Henderson. I think – no, Darnell Henderson. So I think they're going to use Darnell for like red zone kind of because he's a bigger dude, especially compared to Sony. But Sony can't run. Sony's not fast. He had 3 breakaway runs during the Patriots, and he got chased down by linebackers each time. Like he could barely make it past the secondary. So I think he's just not going to get the production that we think that he would, or what he would have gotten if it was with Jared Goff. Who do you think is going to be a bust besides Zeke? Because Zeke could be, because they have a decent offensive line, but I feel like with Dak's injury, that didn't help him at all. Because Zeke got injured for a little bit, and then Marvin had him, I think. I think Marvin had him.
That's just like not fair.
I don't get it.
He had a terrible. He's probably his worst year.
He's ranked 5 right now. Year. I think he's ranked running back 5.
Was he even? He was hurt, but he wasn't hurt the whole year.
That's how.
It was like a lingering.
Yeah.
That's the running back bias right there.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen. Also, I have some like hit or miss players that could be like really good or really bad. Whatever, it depends. Number 1, I got Mike Davis. Mike Davis was the backup running back for the Panthers last year. You had him.
He was fantasy gold last year.
He was. Right behind Christian McCaffrey was hurt for...
Like you had those people, like, you could put them in and they'll replace them.
You had them both.
Yeah, I did. But Dom's so
You picked... Yeah.
He beat you by like 5.
By almost 1,000. We still never got that trophy. And I never got the money. Okay.
You got the money from us.
Yeah, but not from anybody else.
First off.
But, so yeah, he was a backup. Christian McCaffrey only played 3 games last year. But the reason why Christian McCaffrey is on, like, number 1 on everybody's draft board, each time he played, only the 3 games, he got over 30 points. He averaged 31 points for just each of the 3 games. And one of them, it was the game he came back against the Bucks, and they got hurt on the last play of the game. He hurt his shoulder because he got tackled landing on his shoulder. He had 2 touchdowns that day. Yeah. He's such a solid running back.
I probably still pick Derrick Henry over him just because I don't know how I don't know how healthy McCaffrey is like at this point. Like last year,
it was two separate injuries last year.
Yeah, last year was very concerning.
What was it? A knee
and
then a shoulder?
And a shoulder, yeah.
I'm sure he got
or ankle and a shoulder, one of the two, yeah.
But so Mike Davis was a great backup. He stepped right into that role. He took care of that Panthers running game. He finished as RB7 overall in fantasy last year, which is insane from him being just a backup that nobody knew to finish the 7th best running back in NFL. And now he's the RB1 for Atlanta. But again, with Atlanta, they don't have a good offensive line. And if Kyle Pitts is running routes over half the time, they still have that terrible offensive line. Matt Ryan, who can't roll out of the pocket. So Mike Davis, again, could be very good because of how good, and he showed us how good he could be on the Panthers last year. He could be really good, or it could be terrible because of that offensive line. Also, I got Gronk. I got 4 players on this. This is number 2.
He's going to be a bust, or he could go either way?
He's a hit or miss. This is Gronk. Because 1, he could be Tom's favorite target. He could be Tom's favorite target, or he could be blocking every single play almost, like how we saw against Green Bay, like how we saw against the Chiefs. But then with the Chiefs, he'd be blocking most of the time, and then he got so sneaky touchdowns. He got 2 touchdowns in the championship. So that's the thing. He could really be a hit or miss because we don't know what's going to happen.
I feel like sometimes they even use him as a decoy. So like some games he's in game plan. Some days he's literally just a decoy.
Mike Evans can kind of fall into this scenario too because Mike Evans, he'll get points,
but 3
they're always
touchdowns.
It's
and
1
3
yard.
targets,
It's 3 yards. 3 targets and 3 touchdowns. All he does is just fades.
I
That's
remember
it.
that one game.
It was you. You had him.
He had 3 catches, 3 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, or most 4 yards. It was at most 4 yards. Another one I got Corey Davis. Last year he was 16 yards shy of 1,000 receiving yards with A.J. Brown on the team, Ryan Tannehill, and Derrick Henry. He was on the Titans, for people that don't know. Now he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver on the Jets. And Zach Wilson throughout training camp and preseason has looked very good. He's shown his arm ability that people weren't really scared about, but no one really just I don't know. What was the big thing on Zach Wilson that nobody was it just because he went to BYU, he didn't face that hard competition?
I thought it was a small school.
Well, yeah, it's probably more the fact that he went to BYU, which again, obviously, he ended up getting some publicity.
Yeah, his arm talent is amazing.
And he really popped out at the camps and stuff like that.
All the combines.
The combines.
So he really did a good job to really get his name out there. But it obviously doesn't help you when you could have went to Clemson or you go to BYU. I was gonna think that reversing lesser competition. Yeah. But obviously didn't hurt him.
Then they lost to Coastal Carolina, but it's how you losing to Coastal Carolina?
Yeah.
But I think it's crazy too because when I think of Zach Wilson, I always think that he's small. He's 6'4".
He's not look 6'4". He literally looks like Russell Wilson.
It's crazy because he's 6'4". He can see over the whole entire line, which he's put on show basically, put on stage in preseason that he can see over half the people on the field. So he's making these throws over people. But it's just he just comes off as a short guy.
Yeah.
I feel like he just because on the draft picture he just looks short.
I know he does look short, but he plays big. He doesn't. He looks tiny, kinda in a way. And
Corey Davis has become his favorite target through training camp, through preseason. So I think again he could be a hit where people are kind of sleeping on him. He's going to go later in the draft, and he could be very, very good, or he could be almost like a bust in a way, or it could be a bad player because the Jets are going to be the Jets. Another one I have is Nelson Aguilar. He would possibly be the wide receiver 1 for the New England Patriots. With all the attentions on the tight ends in Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, and now this backfield that we have 3 to 4 solid running backs, Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne.
What about Jacoby?
Jacoby, yeah.
He's one of those guys who could have 30.
Jacoby is one of those guys.
He could have a big game or he could do nothing.
That's the thing. It all depends on our quarterbacks. I think if Mac Jones is in, it's going to be way better for our wide receivers. I think if Cam's in, it's going to be better for Jacoby because he was already there with him. But I think if Mac is in, he's going to be better with Kendrick over Nelson maybe.
And you can tell when Jones and Harry on the field, he's been going to Harry too.
On Nikhil?
Yeah, he doesn't shy away from Nikhil.
That's what if I'm trying? I want Nikhil Harry to be good.
In those couple games that Nikhil Harry played in, he didn't play bad.
I know
he made a couple plays.
But then last preseason he had the same thing. So it depends. He had the same exact thing. He had a good amount of catches for production.
He just got hurt. I'm pretty sure he got hurt in the last game.
I think he got hurt in the last game. But even when he was on the field, Cam was never looking his way. And when Cam was looking at Nikhil Harry's way, it was either 5 yards over his head or 3 yards. Exactly. He was skipping it like a rock to Nikhil Harry's hands, and Nikhil Harry still wasn't catching it. But that's the thing. Nikhil Harry, if we have two big tight ends, obviously big tight ends, two small wide receivers, three small wide receivers, and then we have a big wide receiver, like if N'Keal, I can't keep talking about him because I want him to be good so bad. I think I've talked about N'Keal Harry more than anybody I know.
Yeah, you have.
I want him to be good
That's
so
one thing.
bad.
He stayed consistent with
I
him,
want.
too. He's never
It was
switched up.
sophomore year chemistry. In Miss Chan's class, I would prop it up on my phone and I would just watch tape on. Tape. I would just watch N'Keal Harry over and over for a week after the draft. I would just watch N'Keal Harry at Arizona State University. Go Sun Devils! This was where N'Keal Harry. I want him to be good so bad. So if Mac is there to utilize that, I need Mac on the field. Yeah. I need N'Keal Harry to be a big target in the red zone.
We have this man first round pick. Might as well get use out of him.
Right.
Just a waste of a pick.
Say it's the red zone. Say if Cam's in the red zone, we have.
But the thing is, if we're in the red zone, we're going to use Cam to get a touchdown, bro. We're not going to use Harry to get a touchdown.
But everybody's going to think we're going to use Cam.
That is true.
Say we put two tight ends on the field. We do John on one side, Hunter Henry on one side. Add extra blockers. Put Cam in there. Put N'Keal Harry. Do the fade with Mike Evans. Even if he uses red zone guy.
He literally Mac backfield. No one ever know where the ball's going.
Exactly.
Have Mac back there. Have Cam. You could even line Cam up wide.
You can do it.
Put him at tight end.
Yeah. Cam's 6'5", 250.
I feel like we can make a really good red zone package.
We could do a good red zone.
We could have an insane red zone package.
So we actually went to the Patriots training camp that was open to the public inside of Gillette Stadium, and what I was saying on the show, I was like, Cam Newton's going to be that red zone guy when we drafted Mac Jones. And then you guys agreed with me. And then Brady and another kid that came with us, his name's Neil. Brady and Neil went up to get a drink, to get a Gatorade or something. And Daryl and I were sitting down. And as soon as they got up, what did they do with Cam? They only put Cam in the red zone. They used Mac for every other play. They did 10 plays in a row with Cam just inside the 15. Just inside the 20, inside the 15, that's all they did. And then they let Mac do everything else. And so I was laughing at myself, because I'm like, this is exactly what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying is happening right now. And Cam looked okay. Cam looked like Cam. He threw 2 picks. Mac threw 3 touchdowns.
One in the end zone. He threw
It was a bad pick, too. It was
It
was like Trevor Lawrence's throw. Did you see Trevor Lawrence's throw? So Trevor Lawrence, he has great pocket presence. That's his thing. So he's standing in the pocket. There's a guy behind me right now. He basically, I don't even know how he saw it. He maneuvers around it. And then there's a guy doing basically an in. Or I don't even know. Or I think he might have been doing a post. He's doing a post towards the left pylon. He's a little over the middle of the field. Trevor Lawrence throws it late, and he throws it behind him into double coverage, and the guy drops a wide open pick. So it's what are you doing? That's kind of like what Cam did at that practice. So I don't know. Now, our whole entire Patriots team could be on this hit or miss list. Every single one of them. Damian Harris could be, even though how high praise he gets. I don't know. He could be wide receiver 1 or he could be wide receiver 3.
I feel like he'll have 40 to 50 catches, 500 yards.
Who do you think is going to have the most receptions on the team? Johnny could be up there. I might say Jonnu Smith.
I might say James White.
You think so?
I'm going to say James White.
I'm going to say Jonnu Smith. It's either James White, Jonnu, or Jacoby, I feel like. Just because Jacoby's experience in the offense, even if it was just for 1 year beforehand. And I feel like Jonnu, just because of how many different positions he can line up.
Were you saying receptions or yards?
Receptions.
I'm going James White.
Because I feel like Jonnu lines up at so many different positions, he's gonna be available in so many different ways and so many different looks that he can show. Yeah, I don't know. N'Keal Harry's kind of like a. I don't even know who to compare him to, honestly. I really don't know. I just want him to be good. Now that we have the 2 tight ends, we don't need it as much. But I still feel like having 2 tight ends. He's built like AJ Brown. He's built just like A.J. Brown. And the way that they utilized A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, who's a big wide receiver, A.J. Brown, who's a big wide receiver, and then obviously we don't have Derrick Henry, we have Damian Harris. But the way that they utilize A.J. Brown with a smaller guy, Corey Davis, we can do the same thing now with Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, Gunnar Olszewski, now with Jonnu, Hunter Henry, and N'Keal. I don't know what. Like we have a good. Compared to last year, we spent like $125 million in the first day in free agency last year. Jameis Winston has now become the starter for the New Orleans Saints. What do you guys think?
Honestly, I feel like this is probably the best thing that could have happened to him in his career. I feel like going to New Orleans with Sean Payton, who's a good offensive play caller.
What did you say?
What's it called? You talking about? I wanted Taysom Hill to start over.
Why?
Just because I feel like that experience like with the group last year.
Yeah.
Well,
Jameis went what 3-1,
Yeah.
or he went Jameis went 5-0, I think, or did last year when Drew Brees was hurt.
Wasn't it Teddy Bridgewater?
Teddy Bridgewater was
2 years ago.
Teddy Bridgewater was on the Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater was on the Panthers last year. Now he's on the Broncos.
I thought Taysom Hill started those games that Brees was hurt.
I think they did both. I don't remember.
Because I remember Jameis Winston got injured for a couple of days.
Even in fantasy, he was allowed to be used
as a tight end. Because he was starting.
Yeah.
He started as a quarterback.
So maybe I think maybe they did both. Because I know Jameis started some games.
But
I can't remember.
I don't know. I
don't remember
think a year
exactly.
behind Drew Brees and like the ability of Sean Payton's play call, I feel like it will work out good for him if like I don't know, keep the turnover.
They always mix it up like some of these season games don't mix it up. Everybody mixes it up. And that's kind of awkward on a quarterback, but like it seems like it works for him to do that method. So they can always still do that. It's not off the table to mix it up.
And what is this man's contract to be a backup quarterback? Like it just
I don't even know.
I think he's on a 5-year, $140 million contract.
Or Taysom?
Yeah, Taysom.
Oh, Taysom. But it's all avoidable. That's the thing. Which so he could get paid the 140, or he could get paid 0. He could just get paid
the guaranteed whatever.
Exactly. But I think the biggest thing is obviously, Alvin Kamara is going to get more production now that Jameis is starting because Taysom Hill is not going to just quarterback draw basically every single play. But it's the ability to utilize Taysom Hill. Because if Taysom Hill, say Jameis is a starter, he plays 2 drives. The next drive, Jameis Winston goes on first down, then they bring Taysom Hill in. They don't even need to worry about, they obviously need to focus on what play the defense is going to run, what play the offense is going to run, and now they're looking, expecting Jameis Winston, and now Taysom Hill's on the field. So they got to check everything that they just had. Because Taysom Hill can throw the ball, he can run with the ball, or even if he's on the field, when James is on the field, he can take handoffs. It could be Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara in the backfield, and Jameis Winston. So Jameis Winston could throw a 60-yard touchdown, Alvin Kamara could run through your whole defense, or Taysom Hill can run for 15 yards. So him being on the field, not even just the quarterback, say Taysom Hill's a quarterback on the field, they're obviously just going to bring everybody down. They're just going to drop the safeties, they're going to drop. They're always going to have a spy on him at all times. But when Jason's on the field, Jameis is on the field, he can take the top off the defense. We saw him throw 2 dimes last night or 2 nights ago in preseason. So Alvin Kamara, which is good for all fantasy owners, unless I'm going against you, he's going to get a good amount of production again. So now, going back to Jameis in Tampa Bay, he's had over 2,500 completions in his career, 61% completion percentage, which is pretty good, 19,814 passing yards, 121 touchdowns, 88 interceptions, and he's famous for the 33 touchdowns and 33 picks in one season. But again, he said he could barely see, got LASIK, and now he's throwing touchdowns into double coverage, which could either go really good or it could be picked off again. Do you think we kind of gave up on Jameis too early? Do you think? I feel like it was as soon as you throw those 33 and 3, it's like bust. He's a bust. He's a bust.
It's not like it was a one-year thing either.
Everybody did that though. Yeah. But he's the first quarterback to throw for like, it was like 5,000 yards or something like that. Like the youngest quarterback, to, like fastest one to get that.
But no one cares. 230.
Exactly. So that's the thing. That's why I feel like everybody gave up on him too early.
I feel like you got better.
Like learning behind Drew Brees
too. I feel like if he stayed in Tampa, like there's no way he ever would have gotten whatever this is. But I feel like New Orleans was a really good spot for him.
He was basically playing backyard football every single game in Tampa. But he did get that LASIK eye surgery, which is good for James, which hopefully he can now see, which we all hope that can happen. I think this is a brand new start for Jameis and an opportunity for him to flourish because he has a cannon of an arm. He can launch 60 yards easily. He can launch 60-yard touchdowns, 60-yard picks into double coverage. They have a good O-line. They have Michael Thomas, who's coming back in, week 6, week 7 from an injury. I can't remember what the injury is. He has, obviously, the third probably, I'm going to say the third best running back or fourth best running back in the NFL in Alvin Kamara. And they have a good defense. Like, they have a very good defense. So if Jameis Winston can click with his offense, they're going to be a playoff team again. And they could split the series with the Bucs, which I don't think they will. I think the Bucs will go 2-0 against the series with the Saints. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints squeeze out a game.
I just feel like the Saints situation is too uncertain though. Because like you know like Jameis is the starter. What if he's still out short?
He is. Oh, he is. Same with Andy Dalton. Yeah.
As for Andy Dalton, you brought him up. I wouldn't say like. I feel like everyone inside like that organization knows that Justin Fields is probably going to start.
Oh yeah. He knows he's on first.
First off, since when did Andy Dalton think he was like?
Because I guess they promised him that he was going to.
That's the reason why he's signed.
This man has never even won a playoff game.
He played good in Cincinnati though.
No, like he was with AJ Green. Yeah, when like AJ Green was young, he was.
Oh, 100%. Even all Chicago knows it.
Like if I was a player on that team and I see Justin Fields doing so good, why would
you see him get rocked?
Yes, but why would you put in Andy Dalton and the whole team?
Red Rifle?
Yes, you know what I mean? That man aggravates me, bro. Looks like Keith Miser.
Wow. Pretty good. But players in COVID, we're going back to this again. What is happening? 9 total players and coaches are in COVID protocol for the Titans. There's about 6 players on the Bills, and then Cam Newton was in protocol for 5 days. So last year, the Titans were the team constantly with COVID outbreaks. So do you think they just keep getting unlucky, or they're just doing something wrong?
I don't know if it's more unlucky. I feel like maybe they have to like change their protocols a little or make them more clear. Because
everybody has the same protocol.
Why did Cam get confused? Is my question.
I don't understand that.
He said he got an outside test, like outside the NFL.
I thought it was like I think from what I read, like from what I took it as, probably wrong. But I took it as like the Patriots have this, and this.
They told me he could
have testing sites in A, B, and C. These are the testing sites that you can get. Because I guess he left the New England area and then got tested. And I guess that area he thought was approved, but it wasn't approved. And so when he came back, they were like, great, you're negative, but that's not on the test site that we approved. So it looks like it was a negative test, but still, he still had to get the protocol for 5 days.
Another guy who's having issues is Cole Beasley.
Yeah, he was refusing to get vaccinated.
He's very angry about it too. I think his trainer tested positive.
Yeah.
He tested negative. But he's pissed because he has to wear a mask and he can't even practice still, but he's negative.
So for all unvaccinated players, they always have to wear a mask. They have to get tested every single day. The trainer gets COVID. Cole Beasley was there, and like 4 other people-ish were there. And then Gabriel Davis, another wide receiver for the Bills. He, I think it was the same thing with the trainer. He had his mask on at all times. Or no, someone got caught with a mask off real quick at practice. Then they got fined, and then they got sent home. Because, not practice, but like during in the facility, they saw him walking around with a mask because he was unvaccinated. Like, if you get these 2 shots, you can practice like a normal person again. You don't have to get tested every single day. You don't have to pay the fines. You don't have to wear a mask every single day. But I think Gabriel Davis' thing was like, I think he's unvaccinated too. I can't fully remember. But then he had his mask on, and he was with the trainer. Or, I can't fully remember. He was mad about something because he got fined too. But we were just talking about Cam, how he was up for 5 days. Mac Jones, he took advantage of Cam's absence. In a joint practice with the Giants, Mac went on a stretch of 21 of 23 back-to-back touchdowns and 14 consecutive completions. And a total for that day, he went 45 of 50 in a 50-yard bomb touchdown to, I think it was Kendrick Bourne, into double coverage. He threw that 50-yard touchdown. Then the offensive linemen of the Giants and offensive linemen of the Patriots got into a little scuffle, and Mac Jones, he was like, you know what, the Patriots lineman had to run laps. He's like, you know what, I'll do it with them. So Mac Jones basically stepped up as a leader and ran the laps with his offensive line, which, if I'm an offensive lineman, I'm going to be like, I'm going to protect this guy. Like, when I'm on the field with him, I'm going to protect him. Excuse me. But once Cam came back, he didn't look too hot. Cam obviously took the starting reps again. Mac Jones took some reps, but didn't play as good as the day before.
It sucks because every time I feel like he starts to do good, like last year, Corona happened. This year, a mistake.
Cam
wasn't even really supposed to be anything. Now 5 days off, and then he comes back.
Exactly. But Cam's pretty well in the preseason when he does it. He has a 125.0 passer rating and is first in quarterbacks with 10-plus dropbacks, which is very good for Cam because Cam can't throw the ball.
Sure, the last preseason game versus the Eagles, he was like 9 for 10.
Yeah, and he threw a touchdown. So both Cam and Mac have looked great, honestly, in this preseason. Who should get that starting job? Who will be the starter?
I still think you have to go with Cam.
Yeah, I don't want Mac to start. I don't want him to.
But honestly,
because I even saw when Cam went to go get that test, like doing mad about it. So maybe Max has like an open door right now.
Yeah, some people were trying to say like, are they trying to sabotage Cam because they want Mac to start because the whole all New England loves him?
I feel like, especially in the Eagles game, I thought like both quarterbacks moved the ball like really good. Like,
exactly,
moving up and down the field with the Eagles.
But it's also the Eagles defense.
Like Don was saying, like that red zone package for Cam might be the best way to use it. Mac is clearly more accurate than Cam. Cam doesn't really seem like he's ready.
Cam's still getting basically learning how to throw the ball. The Eagles showed us that he can, but he's not consistent. He's just calm. He's calm. Because he had the same system for 4 years basically in Alabama, and now he's just doing it on an NFL field. The two coaches are the same exact person. He had the small wide receivers in Alabama. He has the small wide receivers now. He had Damien Harris, who was in Alabama. Now he has him again in New England. And now he has two big tight ends that he did not have. And he has a better defense now. They don't have Patrick Surtain, but we have Stephon Gilmore and J.C. Jackson. So he knows he can rely on that defense way more than Alabama. Matt Judon's the number one edge rusher in preseason so far, which is good, but again, preseason you can never fully tell. But Matt Jones can rely on that defense way more than he did in Alabama. He has more targets. Well, maybe he had better. He had John Mechie, Jalen Waddle. Oh no, Jalen Waddle went to
No, I still feel like he has better wide receivers right now.
Did he go to Bama? Yeah. Okay. So what do you have? Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, and that's right, and then John Mechie. Yeah, so he didn't play last year, right? Or he played, yeah. So we stayed where we drafted, pick 16, right? 16, 15? 16. Got the most accurate quarterback in college football history. Spent $125 million in guaranteed money on the very first day of free agency to get Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Jalen Mills, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar. Those are the 5 big targets that we got. All we need is a quarterback. That's all we need for it to mesh together. To be a playoff team, all we need is that quarterback to work. And I really think Mac Jones, here's my thing. I think Mac Jones is going to get his first start week 4 against Tom. That's going to be his first starting game.
Honestly,
I don't know if Cam can have 3 good games in a row or something. So it's very possible.
I haven't said it yet, but I see it now. I think Mac could be like a very good starting quarterback for the future.
I think so too.
I think so too.
The way that they were saying
months to say this, but
I wasn't sold on him even after draft. Even after draft, I wasn't sold on him. But the way that I can see him just pick apart, the way he just. I'm like fanboying over him almost. But like the way that he'll just sit there. I already bought his jersey. It's coming in like October. Yeah, I bought it after the first preseason game. I bought that jersey. The way he just stands there. He goes. I'm not. Came through for 6 touchdowns last year. 8 touchdowns last year. I'm not buying this kid's jersey.
So I'm not going to play a game yet.
But I got you. I'll keep the receipt. I'll keep the receipt.
I'm not wearing my Cam jersey first week.
You have a Cam jersey?
Yeah.
You do?
Blue one, yeah.
I almost got Mac's Alabama jersey because I think it was the Crimson.
I like the Oklahoma jerseys too.
Oklahoma's nice, Bama's nice, Penn State is nice, Oregon, beautiful. Oregon holds that top spot. Florida's jerseys aren't that bad. Vanderbilt's are pretty nice.
I like Arizona's.
BYU's aren't that bad. Arizona's is good. The blue. Do you like that over Oregon's? I think I'd take the yellow. Notre Dame's are not that good. I don't like Notre Dame. Clemson, I can't do the orange. Not Justin Fields. Ohio State isn't that bad. BC College. URI. No, I like URI colors though. I like the light blue and the navy blue. But no, we're just one quarterback away. That's it. We're just one quarterback away, so hopefully it can happen. So again, young quarterbacks. But the thing is, with Mac and Cam, I think Mac will start week 4. But if Cam does play bad for, say, 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row, I don't think Mac will be put on the field that late. Because I feel like how we said Andy Dalton, he's going to have a short leash. I feel like just like Cam.
How far are you willing to take it? Like, how much are you willing to let him do bad?
Exactly.
Because, I mean, all last year was just bad since week 1.
But him taking him off isn't taking him off permanently because we're still going to use him.
Right.
Then you just be like Cam, like... Because I feel like Cam's a person where he's going to do whatever he does, whatever it takes to win. He's held himself to that standard. He knows he's on borrowed time, just like Andy Dalton. He's a 1-year deal. He knows he's not the future of the New England Patriots. Mac Jones is the future, and he knows it.
I feel like it's more of like a job interview for next year for Cam Newton, more than it is. You know what I mean? Like,
this whole year's a tryout.
It's more of a tryout for next year, so he can get his next contract.
And we were talking about it. Months before the draft, we said how Justin Fields had a good work ethic. Then we said Mac Jones had a great work ethic. Then it comes out training camp. Mac Jones is always the first one on the field. Cam Newton's right behind him. Or it was like Mac Jones, Cam Newton, and then it was like Nelson Aguilar. Or like Kendrick Bourne. It would be J.C. Jackson. So Cam Newton is there. And we were saying how Ryan Fitzpatrick is that leader. Tom Brady's obviously that leader. Aaron Rodgers is that leader. Drew Brees was. Drew Brees said to Jameis Winston, "This is your team now." Last year in the NFC Championship or NFC Divisional, he handed the ball to Jameis and said, "This is your team now." And then Jameis threw the touchdown. So Cam Newton, we all kind of like, oh, he's not really that big of a mentor, and I believed it at first too. But the way that Cam went on the I Am Athlete podcast, the way he talked about himself, the way he held himself, saying how he can't go like that. He's just going to keep working. And it's coming off on Mac. Mac knows he's fighting for that starting job. He hasn't had to start for a fighting job. He's been that number 1 guy in Alabama. Obviously, his senior year he was. And I feel like kind of in like Alabama, you just sit, and then you play your senior year. You wait. So he's used to waiting, but I don't think he wants to wait anymore. So if he's behind Mac, if he's behind Cam, and he's seeing Cam be the first guy on the field every day. He sees how he's there late, how he's there at 4:30 in the morning. He's at the, or like 6 a.m. He's at the facility. Mac Jones is going to have that same exact work ethic, which is great for New England, which is great for us. Young quarterbacks. Which quarterbacks will and should start? I got obviously Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall. Trevor Lawrence needs to be a great quarterback. I think he should, but they promised him Steve or whatever.
But I don't understand, what are you promising Andy Dalton? What has Andy Dalton ever done?
Who's week 1 for the Bears?
Andy Dalton has never done anything yet.
Who's week 1 for the Bears?
It doesn't matter who's week 1 because Andy Dalton came out not only, but he kind of put like in my view, like why would you say that first off?
Their first game is the Rams, so they're gonna lose. Yeah, because I was gonna say if they played a bad team and they won with Andy Dalton. Then they're going to have to keep Andy Dalton in for week 2. And if say they played another bad team, because they're playing Bengals week 2, so then they're probably going to...
But like he's talking about this is my team right now. Like, dude,
Justin Fields was like, why are you cheering me on?
They've both been in this organization for the same amount of time.
Yeah.
He's never won a playoff game. Justin Fields has never won a playoff game. I think the better opportunity is obviously the younger guy, which is Justin Fields.
But I feel like the best is always when the young quarterbacks sit. I feel like it's Aaron Rodgers sat for what, 2-3 years behind Brett Favre. Tom Brady sat behind Drew Bledsoe for a year. Trevor Lawrence, he needs to be great. He needs to be almost a perfect quarterback for the Jacksonville.
He's going to be great or he's bust.
He must be excellent. Some quarterbacks, like say Kirk Cousins for the Vikings, he can play okay. Like Kirk Cousins is a tier, like a third-tier quarterback. Like he's in the middle of the pack for quarterbacks. He's terrible in primetime. He has one win in primetime of his whole career. But he can be an okay quarterback. But the Vikings, they have Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, and they got a few stars on defense now with Patrick Peterson on the secondary. He can be good, and they're still going to be pushing for a playoff spot each year. The Jaguars, they have a decent supporting cast. James Robinson, had Travis Etienne, he's now hurt, Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark. But they have a god-awful O-line. Terrible O-line. And they have a difficult, they don't have that easy of a schedule. So they might only win 4 to 6 games the whole entire 2021 season. So say they put in Trevor Lawrence, which is going to happen now. They put him in. Say they lose the first 3 to 5 games. Trevor Lawrence, mind you, who hasn't lost, he's only lost 2 games in his life. He's lost 2 football games in his life.
If you lose 5 games, like out of how many? We're talking like the first 7 games.
Out of the first. He loses 3 to 5 games. We'll say, the first 7.
At the same time, he's on a 1-win team, and it's the NFL. So no matter what team you're going to face, you're going to get good competition every week.
Right.
College, you maybe face one good defender every week. Every week in the NFL, you're going to get every team's best. So like, I don't think he's going to come in and just win 10 games like off the bat.
No. I'm saying it would be good if
maybe 5 to 6 wins.
But say like. Clemson lost 2 games. One national championship, 1 playoff game. They lost. Never lost in high school. Never lost before that. He's the highest quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck went to what, Stanford?
I honestly think he's going to end up in that top 10.
That's what I'm saying. And then Trevor Lawrence is right behind him. So Trevor Lawrence has been hyped up since his freshman year at Clemson. He's been hyped up. He started, sophomore year, won a championship sophomore year.
I think it was a freshman year.
Was it true freshman? I thought he won a freshman. I thought he won, or was he a junior? No, he was a senior.
I'm pretty sure he left his junior year.
I think he graduated.
He won the freshman year. I think he's sophomore year. What's it called? So he won his freshman year. I think sophomore year he lost
in the playoffs.
LSU.
The last was it LSU?
And then this year they lost
again. Yeah, they lost again. Yeah.
But last year they lost the national championship. This year they lost the first.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he'd go either way because he's not used to losing. So then he comes out, he's losing again. And now he's in front of, like, Carolina for Clemson. They had real media because that's like basically their team. Because Clemson's in Carolina, right?
Yes.
I think so. So that's like their team. Because North Carolina's the Panthers, but it's Carolina Panthers. It's both of them. But South Carolina's got the Clemson Tigers. So that's their team. He's faced the media.
College football is way bigger than that.
You think so?
Yes, bro. Dude, down south they take college football so seriously. It's literally tradition down south.
True. I don't think he'll panic, but I just think he needs to get used to it because he's used to no real defenses coming at him. He's used to a great offensive line and Travis Etienne in the backfield. So they have Travis Etienne. So I wouldn't be surprised if they draft another Clemson wide receiver next year because especially with Urban Meyer, who was the ex-college coach at Florida and Ohio State.
I have a question though. Yes. So when you think of Mac Jones, who do you see in the NFL now that you think his game could grow to be in the future? Right now,
Baker Mayfield.
I see him as like a Derek Carr, like you said, maybe Kirk Cousins type player.
I wasn't calling him Kirk Cousins.
No. I'm saying I feel like he's gonna be that type of player.
I'm gonna say
he's always gonna have a decent year. I feel like he'll be like a Derek Carr.
Oh, you're talking about his style?
Yeah, like how his career will turn out. I feel like he'll just have a good career. He'll be a solid starter.
I think it's going to be Baker Mayfield, but a faster start. Because it took Baker Mayfield like 2 years to get into the swing of it. I'm going to say that's how he is right now, but by the end of his career, I could see him as a Josh Allen with less of an arm. I could see that.
But at the same time,
they're the same athletes.
At the same time, we really haven't seen how far
Josh Allen. I'm saying like Josh Allen right now, because Josh Allen was the 2020 MVP candidate. He most likely will be next year. So if Mac Jones is an MVP candidate in 4 years, I'll be happy with that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be happy with that. But yeah, they just traded Gardner Minshew to the Philadelphia Eagles because Philly wanted more quarterback depth. Even though they just got Joe Flacco and they have Jalen Hurts. Now they want Gardner Minshew, who's going to see 0 playing time at all. And they traded a 6th round pick for him.
I think it was a 6th round pick.
Oh, was it? Yeah, no, he's young. He had Minshew mania for the first 2 games, and they beat the Colts. They beat the Colts in the first week.
He threw like 400 yards,
never. Next, we got Justin Fields, Matt Nagy, whatever head coach said, Andy Dalton, is going to be the week 1 starter. That's obviously not the right move. And again, I think this goes for all rookies. if you decide to start Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, and they don't do good or as good as you thought, you can't take them out. You can't take them out that game. If you're choosing that your quarterback that you just drafted is better than your veteran, say if the Vikings had enough of Kirk Cousins, they start Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond started last game. They start Kellen Mond. They can't go back to Kirk Cousins. If we put in Mac, we can't go back into Cam Newton full time. You can't go back into Andy Dalton. You can't go to Jimmy G. Because we saw what happened with Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick. They put Tua in too early. They took Tua out, so we couldn't even learn. So they were swapping almost every single drive. Every fourth quarter, we saw Ryan Fitzpatrick go out there before Tua did. And that's supposed to be Tua's team. So why are you even putting in Tua? You should have kept Ryan Fitzpatrick in that whole entire time.
At first, I thought the Dolphins would have a good year, but now I feel like they might take a few steps back.
We're going to be second in the AFC.
I feel like we're going to be second, the Dolphins will go back down to third.
Yeah. But, like, I feel like it's not different for us, but it is in a way just because we're still going to be using Cam. Even if Mac is still out there, I think we're still going to use Cam in the red zone. So it's not going to be like just Mac's team. Because Cam Newton's going to end up the season with like 8 touchdowns. 9 touchdowns.
Last year he had 12 rushing touchdowns in the red zone. So,
no, I'm saying like him just not even starting. Like, that's going to be like, I don't know. Because that's the thing, it could go really well with us with Cam in the red zone, or it could be bad. Because say if Cam learns how to throw, like he's been trying to, and he put on the TV for everybody to see that he can throw against the Eagles. If we put him in red zone, everyone's going to think he's running. And if he starts throwing, then they're going to be like, all right, what's he going to do?
Those plays that the Chiefs would do, like, within the 5
like the shuffle passes?
The shuffle passes, like the underhand stuff.
Yes,
like
the ones in Travis Kelce.
They would do so many different plays off that one formation.
They did one where everybody
spun the ball up to, I think it was Kelce. Kelce would take 2 steps and throw it over the top of the line. Like, so many different play calls.
That's what we need to be creative. We got creative, and Cam Newton ran for 2 touchdowns against the Seattle Seahawks, and then came one touchdown, 1 yard. Exactly. But then, if it was that same play 3 times and it worked, you're going to think we're Josh McDaniels is a genius.
Say you run that same formation 3 times, but you do 3 different plays off of it, but you can change it up the last time. Hand it off to Cam, take 2 steps, just throw it over the top like the Chiefs do. Like, just switch it up.
Right.
There's so many different things you can do with Cam Newton.
Same thing about Jimmy G, though. Because, excuse me, Trey, sorry, I just lost my spot. For Trey Lance. Trey Lance's biggest concern coming out of college was throwing. We know that he can run the ball. Jimmy G, biggest concern, most likely throwing. He can't really run, so we're not really worried about that. But with Trey Lance, now obviously he can throw. He is pretty accurate, but he was taken 3rd overall. So we all know this can happen. We just need to see it. Obviously, we need to show. The perfect way for him to perfect his throwing, and not perfect it, but really work on it, is just sit down. Just sit down. Let Jimmy G go. Jimmy G was that starting quarterback when they went to Super Bowl 50. Excuse me, Super Bowl 53?
I thought it was 54.
Was it? What was this, 55?
Yeah.
This was just 55? Oh my god. Came in retired 5 years ago? Yeah, Hall of Fame this year. So yeah, this was 55. So they brought him to the Super Bowl in 54. But again, they had the great running team. Great running game.
And the
great defense. So he brought him there, and then in the Super Bowl, he couldn't make the throws. So I say give Jimmy G another shot. You decide you're going to stick with Jimmy G and still trade up to get the 3rd overall pick. You got to give Jimmy G a shot. Again, Trey Lance can just sit. Learn from Jimmy G's mistakes and just watch what he does and fix it. And then
I feel like it would be different if he played at least a little bit in college. Like, he didn't really play.
He played what, 1 game last season and they lost? He's played what?
I think he
was it 17 games in college? Or like 20 games in total in college he's played, and he went 3rd overall. I mean, I'm happy now that we got Mac, because we probably would have ended up with Trey Lance, and I'd rather Mac as of right now over Trey Lance. But Mac Jones, he's had some of the best stats of rookie quarterbacks so far. Only 6% of his throws in the preseason have been uncatchable. Zach Wilson, 2nd overall pick, 12%. Justin Fields, 12th overall pick, 22% of his passes have been uncatchable. Trevor Lawrence, 28%. Trey Lance, 35%. Mac Jones only threw 6% of his passes have been uncatchable. 6. That's 22% less than the number 1 overall pick, which is great, but through the first 2 preseason games, he's the second highest ranked rookie quarterback of all time. Patrick Mahomes is at first at 93.6, Mac Jones 92.4, Dak Prescott 90.0.
We're here.
Highest ranked rookie quarterbacks through preseason. And Mac Jones is 2 behind Patrick Mahomes in front of Dak Prescott. And he's the highest ranked rookie quarterback this preseason. But obviously, I still say start Cam. Last year was a rough year for the Patriots and for Cam, but we were 2 to 3 plays away from being a 9-10 win team.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people forget about that.
A lot of games, like in the crunch time moments, like it just didn't go.
The Bills, we could have beat the Bills. Cam fumbled.
Yep.
Stephon Gilmore gave up the touchdown to DK when he was all over him. We got stopped basically on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, that's 2 wins right there.
Exactly.
That's 9.
He had COVID, basically couldn't throw the ball, was a free agent for 100 and something nights it was. Gets to the team, barely learns the system, gets COVID in week 4. Yep. We lose to the Chiefs, even though we got a fumble recovery that they didn't call for us.
I forgot about that game too. We could have won that game.
No, we got a pick that wasn't called for us, and then we got a fumble recovery that they didn't call for us. So we had 2 turnovers there with Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer in the game.
And on top of that, I think we took a sack at the end of the first half to take us out of field goal range.
Brian Hoyer, yeah.
I think that happened 2 times in the first half.
So if Cam was in the game, we could have had a good chance. I'm not saying we could have beat the Chiefs, but we could have put up a good fight against the Chiefs.
Brian Hoyer put up a good fight, so Cam Newton definitely could have.
So I say start Cam, see how he does. But I think Mac Jones, again, will start against week 4 against Tom Brady. Just think, this is Bill Belichick's ultimate revenge on Tom Brady. Beat the GOAT, our old quarterback, just won the Super Bowl with a new team. Everyone's saying it was more Tom than Bill in the 6 rings that we got. So now if Bill can beat Tom with the quarterback that we just drafted with our first round draft pick that we just sat there and waited for him to fall to us, who's everybody saying that he could be the next Tom Brady, and we beat Tom Brady in his old house, that's the ultimate revenge for Bill Belichick. You don't think so? Beating him in the Super Bowl?
It's only revenge for Belichick.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay.
I just said it's the biggest revenge for Bill Belichick.
Oh, I was about to say, okay.
But I mean, obviously, beating Tom Brady in the Super Bowl is the ultimate. But we don't know. We don't think we're gonna get to the Super Bowl. And if we do, then.
But I think if Tom Brady loses it,
he'll be out there.
He will not care. It does not matter.
So I think Mac will be starting week 4, but I don't know if his first start will be week 4. I think what's our first 3? Miami, Jets, and Bills. Is it Miami, Jets, Bills?
Week 4.
No,
Bucks are week 4.
Bucks are week 4.
Oh. Okay.
Or is it? I don't know. What's week 3?
We got Dolphins, Jets. No. Oh, we have Dolphins, Jets, Saints, Bucks.
Dolphins, Jets, Saints, Bucks. Okay.
We'll be 2-1 when we verse the Bucks.
So do you think we'll bench Cam with a 2-1 team?
No. Wait, no, I think we'll be 3-0 when we verse the Bucks.
So again, say we're 3-0. Cam's playing pretty good. Cam's gonna be the starter for week 4, even though I feel like Mac Jones might be the best option.
Week 4 might be the week where
Mac
changes, and then Mac might start versus the Texans the next week.
Yeah, but we should have beat the Texans this year.
Mac might go into this game. I feel like he could
going into week 4.
Yeah,
because that's gonna be a best bet to beat the Bucs defense with 2 different quarterback look. That's gonna be our absolute best bet. We were just talking about the Eagles briefly. What do you guys think Jalen Hurts can accomplish with the Eagles?
Well, if Devontae Smith, can stay healthy,
can live up to his hype.
Which again, he also similar to the Burrow situation with Chase, but he already has chemistry with Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So if Devontae Smith can stay healthy, imagine all the routes that they've worked together on practice, stuff like that.
Right.
They're good friends too. You know what I'm saying? So
for people that don't know, they both played at Alabama together. But I think the best that the Eagles can do is probably make it to the divisional round in the playoffs. They'll make it past the wild card, and then they're going to lose divisional. I really don't see that whole Eagles team making it past. Jalen Rager might turn out okay. They took Justin Jefferson, the pick after Jalen Rager. They could have had Justin Jefferson. Devontae Smith, his old teammate and Heisman winner, will be wide receiver 1. Dallas Goedert is a good young tight end for the Eagles. Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, good running backs, but the defense is holding them back. They cannot get it done in the offensive line. They have, Brandon Brooks, and then, which Travis Kelce? Jason Kelce. They're good, but they're both old.
Older now. Yeah.
Defense was ranked 20th last season, and offense was ranked 26th in 2020. That's not going to win you a championship. That's not going to make you to the NFC Championship at all. I think Jalen could win an MVP for the Eagles, but they're not going to the Super Bowl. He's not. If he's in Philly, they're not going to the Super Bowl. I think if he goes to another team, I wanted us to draft him last year. I wanted Jalen Hurts bad last year, but obviously we didn't get him. He's in Philly. I'm happy that we got Mac now. It worked out in the long run. But do you guys think he could win an MVP?
It's possible if he gets a better supporting cast.
When Aaron Rodgers is retired, when Tom Brady's retired, he'll be in the running, I think. But then there leaves Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson.
It's very tough, actually.
Well, there's a lot of young quarterbacks.
Patrick Mahomes gonna be around for a long time too.
Exactly.
Yeah, Josh Allen will be. Lamar won't
Deshaun
be.
Watson.
He's got to wait for Russell Wilson to retire. No, Russell Wilson won't win an MVP. He's too bad in the second half of the season.
That's not
Justin
even
Herbert.
counting all these running backs that could win it, wide receivers.
I think Justin Herbert could win this year MVP.
Honestly,
or it could be Aaron Rodgers.
I feel
again.
like it might be Josh Allen might win it this year.
Yeah, I think it's a four-person race.
Something about him.
I think it's Josh, obviously Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Justin Herbert. Because Aaron Rodgers is on that revenge.
Tom Brady could definitely be in that too, though.
I think he could, but I think Tom Brady's more of like obviously he's gonna win games, but I don't think he's more of like I need to win the MVP. He's just gonna do what it takes.
I don't necessarily. I feel like if the Bucs don't win the Super Bowl, though, he might win MVP. If that makes sense. Like I feel like they'll have like a Cinderella run, and they'll just lose, and then something will happen.
Lose to who?
Like they might lose. No, like I'm not saying. I don't know who they're gonna lose to, but they'll have like a Cinderella run where they'll win like the first however many games it is, and then something will happen.
Because they're playing the Rams, they're playing the Bills.
Like they might be a good team, and then like he puts up insane stats, but they're just not enough to win. You know what I mean? I feel like that might be the type of situation is the only way he might win MVP.
So kind of like Aaron Rodgers last year. Because Aaron Rodgers, I could see because it's like last dance with Green Bay, last year with Devontae Adams, got to put up good numbers, got to win the last championship that he most likely can. Josh Allen, great young team. Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, you said Emmanuel Sanders, now Cole Beasley. Justin Herbert, who has an absolute cannon, who's probably my favorite quarterback besides Tom Brady. And then what was the last one I said?
Oh, did you say Mahomes yet?
Oh, and then Patrick Mahomes. Deshaun, if Deshaun gets a good team, Deshaun is up there.
Bro, that's what I mean.
You see there's more rumors? You see the rumors started up again that rumors started up again that the Panthers and Miami are willing to trade for him.
Straight up, I forgot he existed. To be honest. Like, I haven't heard anything.
I hope he goes to the Panthers. I don't want him in Miami. Because imagine if it's Josh Allen, Mac Jones, and Deshaun Watson. We're not going to make it out of that division. We won't make it the playoffs for the next 30 years if Deshaun Watson is on the Miami Dolphins. Unless he breaks his lungs. After Hard Knocks with the Dallas Cowboys, which team do you guys think can win the NFC East? I'm still sticking with Washington.
I'm taking Washington.
What do you think? You think Washington?
Washington.
Because Eagles will probably be last. Giants depends on Daniel Jones.
I also feel like this man, Fitzmagic, always finds a way to just like make a Cinderella team.
It's Fitzmagic, Kyle Allen, and Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
But then
I like what they have.
Yeah.
The thing is, Mike McCarthy won his one Super Bowl with the Packers. So he was talking on Hard Knocks with the Cowboys saying how like, oh, blah, 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 I know what it takes basically. I won there. I was there. I'm trying to tell you guys what it was like. But I'm like, he can't call plays. He coached terrible last year, had a terrible defense. Aaron Rodgers ran that team.
Defense, first off. He
exactly.
ruined the defense because that defense was not that bad 2 years ago.
Now they're just worse. Obviously, Trevon Diggs is very good. Micah Parsons is very good. Sean Lee retired. Van Der Esch is pretty good. DeMarcus Lawrence is pretty good. But I think DeMarcus Lawrence is might be traded and might not be. Yeah, or he might retire. He's older, right?
He's older, yeah.
But so yeah, I don't think the Dallas's offense is very good. If Zeke is clicking, if Dak is clicking, Dak could win MVP.
Yeah, but based off last year, what is Zeke?
No, but I'm saying if Zeke could play to potential, if Dak plays to potential, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, I can't forget the last one.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah. Now they have.
They definitely have the team.
They just need a defense.
Yeah.
So they could very well make a run in the playoffs, but they have zero defense.
Didn't they get a cornerback and a linebacker, though, in this draft?
Did they get a corner,
too?
too?
Micah Parsons. I thought they got a cornerback as well.
They might have in second round, but I don't know off the top of my head. They got Stephon Diggs' brother last year. Yeah. Did you guys watch Hard Knocks?
No.
Trevon Diggs, Stephon Diggs' brother. His son went to, like, the preseason games. That's probably the cutest kid I've ever seen. Really? Like, he had a little bucket hat on, like a Cowboys bucket hat on. That was probably the cutest kid I've ever seen in my life. But, yeah, I think it'll probably be Washington. I think the Giants will finish second, or the Cowboys will finish second. And then, obviously, one of them will be third. Then I think Eagles will be fourth. Mm-hmm. Just because I think Washington, they have the best all-around team. Because the Cowboys have the best offense.
Yeah.
I would maybe say the Giants have the second best offense.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Daniel Jones.
So even with that being said, realistically, everyone's in the running except for the Eagles, it seems like, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Who do you guys take as the best wide receiver in that division?
Terry McLaurin.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm going to say Terry McLaurin, then I'm going to say CD, then I'm going to say Kenny Golladay if he's healthy. And then I'll probably say
Amari Cooper is up there too.
Amari Cooper is up there. And then
I'll put Terry first too. I think this year he's gonna go off. He's gonna have.
I hope so.
Insane
They just got Curtis Samuel too, who isn't that bad. Him and Terry McLaurin used to be teammates. They have John Ross, Sterling Shepard, Kenny Golladay, John Brown. The Giants have a good team. It's just again Daniel Jones. So yeah, it's Washington, Giants, and Cowboys are all in the running. Now, for the last one, could the AFC East, where the Patriots are, Miami Dolphins, the Jets and the Dolphins, Jets and the Bills, could they become a powerhouse division with these four young quarterbacks?
Yes.
I think it can.
Which is scary for the Patriots.
I think it can, but I feel like it's more likely for just the Patriots and Bills. I don't know, because just the Jets, like, such like an unstable organization. I feel like
I'm gonna say like 4 years. And then I'm gonna say give them 4 to 5.
With that stability, like. Let's say the Jets draft well, which they're going to be drafting.
They had Michael Carter, Corey Davis this year. They have a good offensive line. They have Quinton Williams, and they just got one last year. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, we better hope that it doesn't go away.
They don't Jets themselves.
Because that way the Patriots would need to figure out something.
I think even if we did become a powerhouse, the Patriots are still going to be the second best team because we have the best defense probably in the AFC East. We have probably the second best all-around offense. I think we have a better overall team than Miami, but I think Miami obviously had the better team the year before us. Now we have the team that's better than them. But Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills, MVP candidate last year, most likely will be this year. Probably the favorite, maybe the favorite this year. Tua Tagovailoa for the Miami Dolphins, young quarterback, needs work, needs to be disciplined, I feel like, but has a lot of talent. Mac Jones for the Patriots could be the next Tom Brady. Looked very promising, and the most accurate quarterback in college football history. Zach Wilson for the Jets has looked pretty solid through training camp and preseason, but the Bills have a great team. They're ready to win right now. So I think in 4 to 5 years, depending on who they have behind Josh Allen and how good Mac gets, the Patriots could be right back on top of the AFC East, which is scary, but also gets me excited. But I don't want that false hope again, like with N'Keal. The Dolphins have a good defense. They just drafted Jalen Waddle, which is great for wide receiver depth. Again, Tua Tagovailoa's old teammate from Alabama. Patriots have a great defense, just improved a ton on offense, and could be a playoff team depending on quarterback and wide receiver. Again, our linebackers are a little bit old. We could use a corner maybe next draft, maybe linebacker next draft, maybe defensive lineman next draft. And the Jets made some good additions, including wide receiver Corey Davis and drafting Michael Carter, the running back out of UNC. So I think, give it 4 to 5 years. Do you think the Bills will still have a great supporting? Do you think Diggs will still be there?
Yeah.
Do you think Beasley?
No. No.
That's the thing. Yeah. Like, obviously, we can't see the future.
They're going to need to find another solid 2, for sure.
Yeah.
Either that
or they need to work on that run game.
Or what if they find a 1 and as Diggs get older, Diggs becomes a 2?
He could they just don't use their... Devin Singletary does not touch that ball.
I know.
Or Zach Moss, does not touch that ball. That's the thing. They're always going to run. They're always going to throw to Diggs, or Josh Allen might roll out or dump it off. I don't even know who their tight end is.
I feel like they could even be even better if they get a good tight end too. Like
I feel like
they won't need a wide receiver too if they have Diggs and a tight end.
What do you guys think about their defense? Just average, right?
I mean, Tre'Davious White is very good. Yeah. Carlos Hyde is pretty good.
They had a top 10 defense last year.
They should have.
Micah Hyde, sorry, not Carlos Hyde. Micah Hyde is very good. So they have a good secondary. they have no pressure on the quarterback, I feel like.
But it's definitely good enough D to
They have a good defense. And I feel like they have a good enough
It's not good enough for a championship.
What
do you say?
Sean
McDermott?
I feel like they have a good enough coach where like their discipline will come. Like
I like Sean McDermott like I like Kevin Stefanski and like Joe Judge, the coach for the Giants, and he's a defensive-minded coach for the Giants, which is going to greatly improve the Giants. So yeah, I really do think the AFC East could be a powerhouse in the next 4 years-ish. But then I still feel like the Patriots could be that number 2, maybe that number 1, depending on the Bills, what they do, what the defense does, what the running game does. We all got pretty good coaches. Brian Flores, they just got Mo Salah for the Jets. And then obviously we got Bill. And then Sean McDermott. So I really think it could be basically wide open in another 4 years. I think that is all for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is another DBD Sports Show. This is our 20th episode. Let's give it a round of applause. Sadly, our last one before college, but it is what it is. We're going to work through it. We're going to let you guys know what we're doing. Make sure you guys follow us on all of our socials where we'll be posting everything. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I don't even think we've posted anything on TikTok, but we have one. We have a Twitter. Again, I don't know if we posted, but we have one. Make sure you follow that. We'll keep you guys updated. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Like, it's not hurting you. And then we got a Spotify at DBD Sports Show and Apple Podcasts at DBD Sports Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one.